pangarap, san man umabot tayo.
Bati ko rin ang mga tagapagpakinig ng programang Buhay OFW ngayon sa DWDD 1134 Armed Forces Radio. Mabuhay kayo mga OFW, mga bayani ng Pilipinas.
Okay, magandang buhay Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Nandiyan lang po tayo sa programang Buhay OFW ngayon, Bantay at Kasangga. And of course, ito po ang inyong lingkod, Terry Alpa. Tayo po ay muling magkakasama-sama. Siyempre, batiin natin ang ating founding chairman, Albert Gonzon, na laging busy. Kaya po din natin siya nakakasama. Marami siyang serbisyong ginagawa para sa ating mga OFW. And of course, batiin din natin ang ating chapter, Bantay at Kasangga chapter sa 4 na sulok ng mundo. Number 1 po, ang Qatar. Yan po ang BK Qatar chapter. Congratulations sa inyo pong napakaraming proyekto. At ang Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Bantay at Kasangga, Hong Kong, BK Hong Kong, Singapore, napakarami po nila. Di na po natin isa-isayin basta 4 na sulok ng mundo. Andyan po sila. Hello po. Happy-happy lang po ang buhay. Kahit po nag-iinit ang ating paligid. Bakit po? Kasi po talagang nasa hangin ang pangangampanya, ang pagbibigay ng ayuda na bawal. Pero alam natin, marami pa rin pong gumagawa niyan, palihim. Alam niyo naman ang Pilipino eh. Kung ano po yung bawal, yun ang ginagawa. Okay, maraming salamat. Kaya ang ating pong background music by Colly Herbs and of course, Martin Alvarez, ang ating pong brother ng son-in-law. Thank you sa iyong napakagandang boses para sa ating mga OFW. Yan, thank you so much sa pagbigay mo sa amin ng background music. Yan. Okay, at pag-usapan po natin bago natin panuurin yung ating mga naging coverage nitong buwan ng Pebrero. Siyempre, Pebrero pa rin po, araw pa rin po ng mga puso. Nagkaroon po tayo ng isang napakagandang coverage po na ginawa po ng DOST. Ito po yung Telecon pala. Telecon tuloy. 2025 National Textile Convention Telecon Summit Halls. Mamaya po talakayin po natin yan. Pero bago ang lahat po hindi po natin malaman bakit po yung ating mga kababayan ngayon hindi malaman kung saan magsisipunta. Para pong nilalagyan ng sili yung kanila pong paa. Hindi malaman kung saan a-attend o ano, kung makikinig ba ng mga rally, ng mga tinatawag ng mga parang ano ba yung tawag doon na nagtatagpo yung mga kandidato at nagbibigay ng kanilang mga plataforma, mga pangako na laging papako. Ay nako, ayan na naman po, parang yun at yun pa rin, di ba? Yung ating eleksyon, sabi nga ulit-ulit na lang po yan. Ay, kailan kaya? Ano? Malapit na. Yan po yung sabi, malapit na. Ang alin. Okay, at ang balita naman po natin okay naman po kasi yung pong presyo po ng ating bigas bumaba naman po yan, di ba? Makakabili na po kayo sa market sa halagang 40 plus. At ayan pabababain pa po lalo. Kasi nga yung mga sumalanta sa atin, yung bagyo, napakarami po, kung ano-anong mga kaya ganyan po ang tinaas ng bigas. Sabi nga, isasabi pong 20 pesos, hindi po yun pinangako ng ating Pangulong BBM. Sabi lang niya na sana yun yung ating parang pangarap na sana maging 20. Hindi naman niya sinabing actual na gagawin niyang 20. Kahit na po i-rewind niyo po yung kanyang sinabi nung time na yun. Hindi niya po sinabi na gagawin niya. Sabi niya, ang pangarap natin. Eh syempre maraming dumating na kalamidad, mga kung ano-ano, kaya hindi nagawa yung ganung bagay. Ano lang po kayo, be patient. Darating din ang ating bukas. Sa ating pong mga overseas Filipino workers, relax lang po kayo dyan sa inyong kinaroroonan. Alam ko po, dyan po sa bansang United Arab Emirates, malamig pa rin ang simoy ng hangin. Dapat nandyan tayo kaso meron tayong mga bagay-bagay na hindi maiwan. Kaya nandito pa rin tayo sa Pilipinas. Dapat December, nandun tayo sa New Zealand, saka sa United Arab Emirates, at doon na tayo ulit mag-i-interview ng mga successful Filipino businessman. Pag nasa ibang bansa po tayo, ganyan ang gawa natin. Hinahanap natin ng mga matsatsagang Pinoy na naging tagumpay sa kanilang mga larangan ng negosyo, ano man yun. At nung time na nandun tayo, isang magaling na kusinero, no? Filipino chef na tagumpay sa kanyang business na small restaurant, Filipino food. Talagang ang galing po nila doon. Pinadayo po yun ng mga Pilipino, yung restaurant na yun. At siyempre, speaking of Filipino musician and artist sa Dubai, mga kaibigan po natin yan, gagaling nila talaga. Saludo ako sa inyo. Namimiss ko kayo. Pagdating ko dyan, yung coverage ulit natin at i-interviewin natin yung ating mga Filipino artists. Kasama na po dyan yung ating Pinoy wrestler. Yan po si yung kanyang paborito. Chicken Joy. Kumusta na kayo? Miss ko na kayo. At ang ating Pinoy rapper, galing. Yan. Talagang sumisikat po sila. Ang YY Do ni Chris DX at Maki, lagi pong nasa gig yan sa Abu Dhabi. Yan po yung aking daughter na si X at si Maki na San Ilocos. Yung mga kanta po nila sariling compose nila yan. Once inopen nyo po ang website ng Dubai Tourism, sila po yung makikita nyo dyan na kumakanta. Introduction. Congratulations po sa YY Do. Ayan. Siyempre, yan ay kanila lang pong passion. May mga trabaho po yan, mga OFW po yan. At meron po tayong 3 apo na nandyan na puro lalaki. Mga musician na rin sila, mga bata pa. Siyempre, kanino pa ba sila magmamana? Yes. At batiin po natin ang mga kaibigan, ating mga kaibigan sa media. At ang mga naging kaganapan po ng mga nakaraan, yung pong pirmahan po ng MOA, no? Ng National Commission of Senior Citizen and National Commission of Indigenous People. Yan po, nagpirmahan po yan ng isang MOA para po mapalakas pa po ang mga serbisyo na kanilang ibibigay para po sa ating mga katutubo at sa ating mga senior citizen. Maganda po yan. Sana po yung pinirmahan yung yan talagang mapalaganap na po yung mga serbisyong inaasahan po ng ating mga kababayan na kanila pong matatanggap. Lalo na po yung mga senior citizen, yung mga aabot sa edad ng 80, naku po, bago mo makuha yung iyong pera, uugod-ugod ka na. Kaya yung mag-aalaga na lang ang makikinabang yan. Ayan. Anyway, ayan po. Yun nga, pabalik tayo sa ating kinoverage, yung 2025 National Textile Convention, Telecon Summit Halls. Kung saan po ay pinagmamalaki natin ang ating mga gawang Pinoy na mga tela. Usually po, gawa sa pinya, gawa sa mga abaka. Ano ba yun? Basta yung hinahabi po yan, yung hirap po yan. Kaya nga sabi nga nila, bakit medyo mataas ang presyo? Kasi po, hindi po basta-basta ang paggawa at hindi po talaga makagawa ng maramihan. Kasi tiyagaan po yan, hinahabi yan Talagang kailangan yung mata mo malinaw, yung kamay mo matatag. At napakaganda po ng tela na yan. At ngayon nga po yung nakaraang summit na yan, kasama po ang ating Armed Forces of the Philippines. Kasama po sila, kinonect po sila kasi isa po sila sa magsusuot nitong telang ito na napaka-convenient. Kasi sabi nga, baka naman daw madaling madumihan o ano. Hindi naman po, kasi sabi nga itong telang to ay talagang inilapat po para gamitin ng ating mga sundalo. Para po convenient po sila, di ba? Yun ang ano doon. Kaya yan po ang maganda dyan. Di lang po yan, mga government employee din po natin. Sila din po ay magsusuot din po niyan. Kaya pag matutunghayan po ninyo yung mga kasuotan na ang ganda po, Pilipiniana, mga barong nagawa sa pinya, yung ating po mga sundalo, magsusuot po yan, light textile po siya. Di ba yung ating patig, yung combat, parang ang bigat sa katawan, ano? So malaman natin kung anong klase. Pero nakita ko na yung sample doon ng uniform ng ating armed forces. Meron pong sample doon. Talagang napaka-presko. Hindi pawisin, hindi ano pa man. Maganda po yan. So yung time na yun, nagkaroon po ng fashion show, pinakita roon yung mga gawa, mga gawa dito sa atin, Kaya nga po tinawag na Telacon. Nagkaroon po ng fashion, pinakita po ng mga kasuotan. Kasama po dyan yung DTI. Yan po. Panoorin po ninyo yung ating naging coverage. Kung ano po yung mga tinalakay doon para magkaroon po kayo ng idea, lalo na po yung ating mga sundalo, at saka po yung ating mga opisyal na mga sundalo. Siguro, ano kaya yung itsura nyo pag suot nyo yung barong pang combat? Hindi po, meron po talagang special na uniform para po sa mga sundalo po natin na talagang masisiyahan po kayo. Okay, panuorin po natin yung ating naging coverage po. Take it away.
Came like yung Tatak Pinoy, MSME even yung ating Create More Law. The RA 9242 came way before that. Ang maganda is that hindi fabrics lang yung tinetest, but actually where it is actually manufactured. So if there's a company, they cannot get our fibers to where they are, make the fabrics there and bring them back. It will not qualify to 9242. They have to locate here. That's why discussions are with different companies, saan sila maglo-locate ng business, which means talagang dito gagawin yung mga tela. And that's, I think, the complementing role of the RA 9242. In its implementation, PTF is very specifically defined. So hindi po lahat ng tela na ginagawa sa Pilipinas ay Philippine tropical fabric. Marami pong hinahabi natin handloom woven products are not Philippine tropical fabrics because it is very specific kung ano po yung kanyang performance requirement. Ibig sabihin po nito, dapat maging career dress apparel. Office uniform po ang tawag doon. So in short, hindi man mas gandang pakinggan, but yung karamihan ng handloom woven products natin are not Philippine tropical fabrics. Now, yung pong standard na yun ay maraming nakalista. One of that is composition. Meron ba siyang pineapple? Meron ba siyang banana? Meron ba siyang abaka? And very lately with the new IRR, meron ba siyang bamboo and silk? Yun po yung unang titignan. Pag wala po yun, babay, di na po yan magiging PTF at all. Then, marami po pong standard. Nagsusot-sot ba yan? Naglinis-nis ba yan? Napupunit ba? These are all standards that these fabrics must meet. At alam po yan ng ating mga manufacturers. At hindi po sinicertify yung manufacturers. Sinicertify yung batch ng tela. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede dahil okay ka na noong 2010, okay ka until Kingdom Come. Hindi po ganun. Every batch ng tela binabantayan po natin, and kung 1,000 yards yan, aalamin din ng PTRI saan napupunta yung 1,000 yards na yan. Dahil pag kinumit mo yung 500 sa DA at yung 500 sa DTI, di most likely, wala ka nang mabibigay sa PTRI. So, ganun lang po kasimple yung mathematics. Why? Kailangan bantayan. Dahil pag loko po ang trade, mas loko, we have to be smarter. Kasi otherwise, masisira yun po yung market. And what PTRI does is to do the testing and the certification. So yung testing po nun is doon natin makikita through our ISO 17025 laboratories kung compliant yung tela. And kapag compliant, ano po yung basis ng compliance natin is the testing plus that very crucial permit to transport fiber that comes from the DA. So ibig sabihin, baka naman galing sa ibang bansa yung fiber, ginawa lang dito sa Pilipinas, hindi po pwede yun. Because yung fiber must come also from the Philippines. So yun po yung role natin sa PTF law to ensure na compliant yung tela, hindi compliant yung manufacturer, compliant yung tela, and that they become an instrument in the bidding process pag nag-bid na sila sa government uniforms. So yun po yung in a nutshell the role of PTRI plus our chairmanship of the technical committee. So we are fortunate that in the revised IRR, PTRI po nag-chair ng technical committee.
Alright. Okay, let's go back.
I'm Colonel Giroy. I'm the Deputy Quartermaster General of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. And
Yes, sir.
we're happy to be here, invited by the PTRI to attend this National Textile Convention.
Sir, ano po masasabi nyo na kayo po ay na-connect po sa PTRI at nasali sa mga programa?
Of course, we are very happy. I made mention na the PTRI, DOST, is very supportive on our effort to improve more our existing mga items of uniform and also to comply with the current tropical public law. That is to incorporate local fabric to our items of uniform worn by individual soldiers.
Yes, basahin na lang po para po sa ating mga sundalo po.
Sa mga kasunduluhan, ang isa pong objective ng pamunuan ng Armed Forces is lahat po ng ating kasunduluhan ay mabigyan ng durable, ng madaling mga uniforme na durable at madaling isuot at matibay, maasahan at ang aming ginagawa na development ay para sa kabutihan ng ating mga kasunduluhan.
Yes, mabuhay po at congratulations po sa inyo. Ito po si Terry Alpa para po sa programang Buhay OFW yan, Siyensya, Teknolohiya na mapapakinggan po sa DWWD Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipinas.
Maraming salamat
Thank
po.
you po, sir.
Buhay.
Magandang buhay po sa ating lahat. Ito po si Terry Alpa para po sa programang Buhay OFW ngayon, Siyensya, Teknolohiya na mapapakinggan po sa DWWD 1134 kHz AM band ng Armed Forces Radio. Ngayon po ay nandito po tayo sa PICC kung saan po ay may isa pong kaganapan dito. Ito po yung 2025 National Textile Convention. Kasama po natin si Sir. Sir, introduce yourself please.
Hi, I'm Ali Atienza. I'm the new Executive Director of Philippine Fiber Industry Development Authority.
Yes.
You can call me Ali, just don't call me Kuya Kim po.
Yes, Kuya Kim. So, Kuya Kim, ano po yung mga nagiging kaganapan po dito ngayon?
Ali po, huwag po Kuya Kim.
Kuya Ali.
Ito po, actually, nagkaroon ng summit. Of course, it's not, we are supporting. PTRI has had a convention for mga weavers, which I think Wilfida can also help and assist. Because Wilfida does, kami po may responsibilidad sa mga fiber industry, including abaka, cotton, silk.
Yes.
Of course, I just sat down 3 weeks ago, but rest assured, Wilfida will work hard to make sure that the whole industry, yung industriya ng fiber, ay magkaroon ng fair share, na hindi lang balansado. Dahil ang gusto ko in the end, yung mga farmers ang dapat kumita din mas malaki because sila yung nagsasakripisyo.
Yes.
Dugot pawis ang puhunan niya mga yan. Pero at the end of the day, sila minsan yung pinakamaliit ang kinikita. So kailangan magbalansin natin yan para gano'n yung interest ng lahat ng mga stakeholders ay maibigay natin ng maayos.
Yes, kanina po ay napakinggan natin ito pong mga textile na ginagamit ngayon ng ating mga government employees, including the Armed Forces of the Philippines. So bilang ako po ay taga doon, ano po yung nabanggit nyo kanina, yung mga natatamang kasuotan po para sa kanila?
Ang batas po na yan, naglalayo na yung mga uniforme ng mga empleyado, which is about 1 to 2 million na employees po yan, ay malagyan ng fiber. Dahil para po matulungan natin ang mga magsasaka na, kagaya sinabi ko kanina, hirap na hirap sila.
Yes.
Pero kung walang bibili, mamamatay ang industriya niya. So this law is a very welcome law na makakatulong. In fact, yung 5% tingin ko kulang pa. Dapat taasan pa natin para sa ganoon yung mga farmers natin magkaroon pa ng mas magandang buhay
Ayun. So maganda po yung inaasahan natin para po sa ating textile industry. Ingan ko na lang po kayo ng mensahe para po sa ating mga OFW sa apat na sulok ng mundo.
Sa mga OFWs po na nasa ibang bansa, ako po yung bumabati sa inyo. Kayo po ang tawag sa inyo, yung bagong bayani na dapat inaalagaan. Dahil alam naman natin nandiyan kayo sa labas. Kaya kagustuhan nyo ay mabuhay din ang inyong mga pamilya dito sa Pilipinas. Rest assured, yung opisina po namin, ang gobyerno po, tutulong naman. Lalo-lalo na po dun sa mga mahihirap na magsasaka.
Yes, and of course, ang ating mga tunay na bayani, ating po mga sundalo.
Sa ating mga sundalo naman, talagang tayo po ay magsama-sama. Tulungan natin ang ating gobyerno na magkaroon ng mas matatag. Tigilan po muna natin ang politika. Isipin natin ano ang magagawa natin para makatulong sa gobyerno, lalo-lalo na sa mga kababayan natin.
Yes, maraming salamat po. Mabuhay po kayo at congratulations po. Yes, magandang buhay po sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Sherry Alpa para sa programang Buhay OFW ngayon. Siyensya at teknolohiya na mapapakinggan po sa DWDD Armed Forces Radio po ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino. Ngayon po ay nandito tayo sa PICC kung saan po ay may nagiging isang kaganapan ngayon. Ngayon po kasama po natin si Sir. Sir, introduce yourself.
Ako po si Director Jordan Darrow at tayo po ay nasa po ngayon sa 2025 National Textile Convention. Dito po ay sinasabuhay po natin yung pag-wear po ng kasuot ng Pilipino. Pero ito po ay gawa sa mga tropical fabric ng Philippines. So inainyahan ko po lahat sa inyo na tangkilikin po ang sarili natin. Mag-umpisa pong isuot ng ating Pilipiniana. At ito po ay hindi basta-bastang Pilipiniana kasi ito ay gawa sa Pilipinas at ang materialis po ito ay gawa din po sa Pilipinas. So ang pagmamahal natin sa Pilipinas ay pwede natin maisuot at mailahad sa lahat ng tao. So ako po ay nasa gobyerno at kaisa po sa inyo sa media, sa pribadong sektor kung saan po ay sa buhay natin ang pagmamahal sa bayan sa kausotang natatanging Pilipino.
Yes, sir. Hingan ko lang po kayo ng mensahe po para sa ating mga modernong bayani, ang ating pong mga OFW, and of course, ang ating mga tunay na bayani, ang ating pong mga sundalo.
Ang aking pong tatay before ay isang pong OFW. Yes. So alam ko po kung gaano po kasayang isipin na ikaw po ay anak ng isang OFW. So sa lahat po ng OFW sa lahat sa bansa Pilipinas, sa ibang bansa po, kung saan po ngayon, ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyo pong dedikasyon at sakripisyo nyo para sa bayan. Salamat din po sa pagwawaygay-way ng bandila ng Pilipinas sa saan man sa mundong ito. Kami po, sana po, uuwi po kayo sa Pilipinas. Magsama-sama po tayo para po sa bagong Pilipinas.
Yes, and of course, ang ating pong mga sundalo.
Ang ating naman pong sundalo, ito po ay malapit sa ating puso. Maraming salamat po sa pag-make sure na safe po tayo. At sa mga sakripisyo nyo po, kagaya ng unang sinasabi natin, na ang gobyerno ay para sa inyo, so ito ay para sa Pilipinas at para sa bansa. Sana po ay maging malakas pa rin po tayo para po itaguyod ang bansang Pilipinas.
Yes, maraming salamat po, sir, and mabuhay po kayo.
Maraming
Thank you so
salamat.
much.
Or use this more and really apply the PTF law? And how do you monitor and make sure that the law is being enforced?
So the CSC has been working its way across the country through our field offices. Kasi the CSC has several field offices from Region 1 up down to the Barn, Caraga region. So what the CSC does is to cascade information to agencies explaining what the PTF law is all about and its requirements. So we make it simple so that the agencies will understand the importance and the need to implement the law and the use of the Philippine tropical fabric in their offices. Kasi at first, there was really the agencies thought that the weaves are already compliant with the law. So we had to make sure that we have to explain it to them that what are considered to be tropical fabric, so that they will be able to comply with the requirements of the law. So we have already started info dissemination last year. So we gathered our field directors and we explained to them the ways on how to cascade it to the agencies for better understanding. So we are not stopping there, because when we conducted the survey last year, we found out that still there are agencies which are still which still believe that the hand weaves, the weave cloth are considered as tropical fabric. So we have to further clarify it, and so we made we will be making several rounds across the country to explain it to the agencies that ito po yung tropical fabric, ito po yung hindi. Tapos hindi po basta-basta natatapos yon ng kasi kailangan ang tropical fabric, kailangan ma-test pa siya ng PTRI, and you have to get a certification from PTRI that this is really a tropical fabric. So there are requirements that have to be fulfilled by agencies before they can consider the uniform to be compliant with the tropical fabric. So what the CSC does is to explain it to them. Paano ba siya, ano yung tropical fabric, paano mag-procure, saan ipo-procure. So we made it simple. So we also, like yesterday, the Civil Service Commission conducted its land chat. So it is a social media program now, which is in the Facebook. So meron kami isang hour na program doon explaining what PTF law is all about. So it is an interactive program which whereby the audience can interact with our Assistant Commissioner who explained the law in the IRR. So we have developed a communication plan on how to cascade the law and the IRR across the bureaucracy for better understanding, so that it can be implemented up to the agencies in Mindanao. So hindi lang siya limited dito sa Metro Manila or Luzon. So along with the members of the technical committee, kung kailangan namin ng assistance ng PTRI to explain, so they are readily available naman po to give their collaterals to us. And we are very thankful to the PTRI because they shared their collaterals to us, and those collaterals we have already disseminated across the regions. So yung mga activities na kinoconduct ng CSC, it's more of the info dissemination, kasi yun po yung kailangan na ma-ahensya. Kasi nung una, ang akala nila yung PTF napakamahal, hindi komportable isuot, makate, tapos kung saan ba nila kukunin. But because of the information dissemination that we do, yun medyo napapaintindi na natin sa kanila kung hindi naman pala siya mahirap ma-procure. Madali lang naman po siya. So hopefully, for this year, meron pa kaming mga series of micro-learning sessions that we will be doing, and then we will be having the social media blasts in Facebook and the YouTube channel of the Civil Service Commission to promote the PTF and the use of PTFs.
Designers, environmentalists, and consumers designed to facilitate important discussions on creating the future today for sustainable fashion and textile production towards circularity in the textile industry. But before we begin this press conference, we would like to take this opportunity to thank our media friends na naandito ngayon for taking time to join us here at this year's Telecon. Thank you so much for your time and support in this important work. And we hope to have a meaningful session with all of you today. To provide you a quick recap, the opening day of Telecon focused on the establishment of a whole of value chain circularity framework in the Philippine textile ecosystem through priority interventions from the government, industry, and the academe. One of the highlights yesterday included the keynote address presented by DOST PTRI Director Dr. Julius Liano Jr. on the Textile Sustainability Framework and the Circular Textile Economy. Today, Telecon's second day provides an important platform on the role of Philippine textiles in government initiatives, all contributing to a unified mandate for circularity in the textile ecosystem. One of the highlights of today's activities includes the Kadhabi Fashion Innovation Show, which will present government corporate dress apparel conceptualized and executed by local uniform manufacturers and designers stylishly. It will happen later at 6 p.m. So we hope you'll be able to stay and see this amazing collection. And now, I have the privilege of introducing to you our panelists at today's press conference. Several projects on textile material chemistry and product development, including projects on non-woven textiles and the development of natural dyes from valorized natural textile materials. He is currently the Director 4 of the Philippine Textile Research Institute at the Department of Science and Technology, using his knowledge and expertise to champion the government's mandate towards a more sustainable textile industry in the Philippines. Please welcome DOST PTRI Director Dr. Julius Liano Jr. We are also joined by Miss Olive Ann, President, Exclusive Apparel by Olive Ann. Hi, ma'am. Mr. Matthew Chuck Lazaro, Vice President, Asia Textile Mills Incorporated. We also have Brigadier General Florante P. Season, Officer of the Quartermaster General, Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ms. Lope Bautista, President, Timpuyog Dagiti Manalon, T. Kasilagan Incorporated. Mr. Mario Manzano, Owner and Weaver of Bagtason Loom Weavers Association. Ms. Ermeline Tariga, Owner and Weaver of San Jose Multipurpose Cooperative. Alright, so welcome to all our panelists. Let's now keep the ball rolling and we'll officially open the floor for our press conference. So to our media friends, to make this seamless experience for everyone, kindly raise your hand and please state your name and media affiliation to our panelists. Go on, sir.
Garcia, Business Room. Okay, well, I have like 2 questions. So a lot of the push for tropical fabrics is ongoing now because it's RA 942 or something like that. So how are we sure that the demand can be met, number 1? And 2, how are we sure that we're getting the best quality possible? And 3, how are we making sure that we are getting the uniforms in a transparent manner that won't, you know? And then for Brigadier General, I'm not used to having a soldier in a fashion press conference. So no, I want to ask you, like, what is the importance of this law to the armed forces, and how do we create a partnership between those 2 sides? Thank you.
How can we ensure that supply? Yung nag-usap po palagi, the government is exerting all its efforts, part of its mandate under 9242 to be able to link the supply chain together. So yun po, kausap natin ang farmer groups, cooperatives, the fiber producers, all the way to the manufacturers. Asia Tex can spin it into yarns. PTRI also has its own effort to spin it into yarns, and then we have the fabric weavers, and then we also have the uniform manufacturers. So the complete chain, yun po yung minong-globalize natin. Kung kaya natin, I think the only question is about the timing, yung time. kaya natin yun, but definitely hindi siya sabay-sabay because we're also starting to ramp up still the production and operation. Number two, how are we sure that the quality can be met? That's exactly why 9242 is there. May standards po na sinusunod. As I said kanina, hindi ibig sabihin na si Asia-Tex na test ito, okay na siya until many years down the line. Every single batch of fabric will be tested. They are tested against a standard. The laboratory mandated to test it is only PTRI, which is a 17025 ISO 17025 accredited laboratory, meaning that the results are also comparable to the ones abroad, and that's how we ensure the quality. Part of that is ensuring that the fiber also came from the Philippines, so we also get the certification from the AFIL-FIDA para masabi natin that indeed this is a Philippine tropical fabric. Yung pangatlo, how do we ensure transparency? Iba-iba po yung mode of procurement. Pag government po nag-procure ng buo, meaning tela and magtahi, it passes through the usual government procurement process, which I think is so much already it's already part of the transparent the policies on government procurement. Nagkakaroon nga ng mas problema kapag ang issue ay bumibili isa-isa yung ating mga empleyado, which does not happen in the military, they buy in bulk. Pero sa mga empleyado po, isa-isa kami bumibili, isa-isa po kami nagpapatahe. So yung part na yun is not covered anymore by the Procurement Act, but it's covered by, of course, the usual buying na lang. Hindi na-align lang natin sila na binibilhan nila is really a certified PTF supplier. So, and then I think the third question, I'll give it to the good gentleman.
Thank you for your question. And before I'm going to answer it, allow me to introduce myself first. I am Colonel Isaac Lolo De Roy Jr. I'm representing our head of office, Brigadier General Florante Sison. Our office is the Office of the Quartermaster General, Armed Forces of the Philippines. You're asking why we are here. First of all, we would like to thank Director Diano Jr., sir, for inviting us and for giving us the opportunity to be part of this convention, National Textile Convention. So, I was happy with your question. You're asking, we're not normally part of this convention. But to inform you, we have an existing memorandum of agreement currently with the UST PTRI to develop our battle dress uniform worn by every soldiers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. And it will contain tropical fabric. And also in support for that Republic Act 9242, the higher headquarters of the Armed Forces issued a policy, directive to all our procuring entities to incorporate in all our technical specifications for all the uniforms being worn by the Armed Forces to include at least 5% of local tropical fibers such as abaca, banana, or pineapple, which is 5 kilogram or 5% by weight. And for fibers like local silk, it should contain 15% by weight. So that's thank you for that question. That will be my answer.
Thank you so much, Colonel. Any final follow-up?
Yeah. May I just add that we at Asia Textile Mills are actually ready to supply. Honestly, as I said, like in the forum earlier, we've been waiting for the demand. We've been there, and but actually, like I always believe in God's timing also, because like at this point in time, I can confidently say that if we talk about scaling up on this kind of production, ensuring that there is really an indigenous fiber in our fabrics, we can actually do it already. Thank you.
Actually, I do have a follow-up question for Colonel. Sir, when we talk about like your partnership with the PTRI and the UST, when you talk about specifications, like I know that it's also about what the fabric contains, but what about needs of the soldier who's wearing it. So can you talk more about the specifications that you...
Okay, thank you for that question. I mentioned earlier, our office is in the Armed Forces is in charge of the crafting, formulation, research, and design of the technical specification for all items of uniform. Of course, part of that is the durability, wearability, moldability, and all characteristics that will make the soldiers feel comfortable when they are using this type of uniform. So it is part of our research, and also to inform you, we have limited capability in terms of research when it comes to textile. That's why we need strategic partners like the PTRI to help us develop our own local uniforms that contains local fabric.
Sir, will this cover, you said dress uniforms, but will it cover like actual combat uniforms also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mentioned earlier that we have an existing memorandum of agreement with the OST PTRI. It is entitled Combatex, the development of our battle dress uniform.
But what about an actual combat like on the field?
We do that. Actually, part of our research and development is to conduct field testing. Once we already have the prototype, when it was already manufactured, it is being subjected to field testing. The actual soldiers will use it for how many days or months, depending on what type of field test it will be subjected to. And then afterwards, we will get feedback for those soldiers who actually wore that uniform.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Colonel. The next question is from... after Mr. Nelson, Tita Mel.
Good afternoon, Nelson Santos of the Publishers Association in the Philippines. Director Julius, as far as I know, yung DOST PTRI previous years, isa sa dalawa sa mga attached agencies ng DOST na halos talagang dapat ma-dissolve. Pero it shows, I will congratulate yung ginawa mo for last years, talagang nag-boom ang PTRI. Nakilala talaga na it means na talagang hindi dapat. You deserve na talagang ang textile industry, kailangan. So for this 2025, what do we expect ba na lalong makilala ang PTRI? I received a comment kasi from Asian countries na nakita nila yung mga event ng DOST PTRI, magiging competitive pa yung ating textile when it comes to other Asian countries.
To make it a little bit more relevant is exactly what we're doing now. Ang sabi nga natin, textiles touches almost everything. Nasa wearable pa lang tayo nag-uusap. So yung career dress apparel, which is yung day-to-day office uniform, medyo in the bag na yun kasi kahit papano naka-plasta na. We're moving to yung mga specialized. Like for example, for the soldiers, for our Bureau of Fire Protection, nagpupunta tayo doon a little more specialized types of fabrics. Pero wearables pa lang yun. At tabayanan nyo, by the middle of the year, we will be launching our Non-Movements Innovation Program. Actually, we are happy to note that we actually received already a patent on our technology na gamitin siya for insoles of footwear. So yun po yung mga direction niyon. The footwear industry is just waiting for us. Accessories, bags, caps, etc. papunta doon. You just have to fill in the needs na existing. Hindi tayo kailangan mag-invento ng bagong pangangailangan. There are a lot of local needs that needs to be, local consumption of textiles that needs to be substituted. When you move to non-movers, doon po papasok yung mga acoustic backing, yung mga soundproofing, mga filters, those are textile materials. So hindi pa natin napupuntahan yan. At pagtanungin niyo po kami, kahit pagsamahin niyo po yung wearables, yung knitted and woven combined, mas malaki pa rin po yung market ng non-movers. That's a market that has yet to be tapped. Yun po yung aming mga direction over the next few years, which means that really textiles is realizing its role to be everywhere. And as far as the competitiveness, we work with our own. Yun po siguro yung best strategy. Ayoko po nang tumingin sa katabi.
when you are trying to recover, we're trying to set up an industry. Sabi nga nila, the most beautiful flower, dalawa lang daw po yun. The one that blooms in adversity and the one that blooms alone. I don't need others to bloom together with me. I can bloom on my own. I mean, we can bloom on our own. We have our own advantages, strategic advantages as far as materials, human resource, creativity. Kaya po natin yun eh. Hindi mawawala, hindi matatalo ang Pinoy nun. That's why the role of science and technology is to provide the creative industry, provide the manufacturing industry, and provide the general public the tools needed to be able to make textiles and make it relevant to our day-to-day lives. And that probably is the reason why we were not dissolved, because we are insoluble.
Gusto ko lang, sir, magtanong sa nabanggit niyo kanina na hindi kayo, nabanggit ng ating kasama na ang mga militar ay hindi naman talaga willing na sumali sa mga pagdadamit na magaganda, di ba? Kasi ang inyong damit ay dapat matibay dahil kayo ay naka-expose sa ulan at sa init. Pero dito po sa binabanggit ninyo na kayo ay nakipag-cooperate sa PTRI. Ito po ba, pag sinabi niyong may collaboration kayo with PTRI, kasama na ba doon yung tela na pag ginamit ninyo ay, nabanggit kanina ni Director Leanio na sabi niya, dapat tingnan kung paano ito mag-absorb ng oil, paano ito mag-absorb ng dirt, paano ito mag-absorb ng pawis. So, ano po ang mga nakukuha ninyo sa PTRI sa pamamagitan po nitong mga qualification na ito na pag dinamit ng isang sundalo ang tela ay meron siya talagang parang meron siyang kakayanan na magpaulan, magpainit, makipaglaban.
Nag-press pa rin.
Oo, presto pa rin.
Thank you very much for that question. To answer that, of course, napakalaki po ang naitulong sa amin ng DOST PTRI in order to develop this type of uniform that we need. To inform you po, we are doing market research. We are researching on what the other armies around the world are using. It was mentioned by Sir Leanio kanina, lengthily. It needs to be water, it has water repellent, fire retardant, it will not absorb dirt. These are the characteristics that are present on the uniforms of other modern armies. And of course, as I had mentioned earlier, our capability to conduct research and development, although we have our own research and development center, but we are not that capacitated to perform or to conduct in-depth research regarding our requirement. So we partnered with them to harness also their expertise. They have a much better research and development compared to us. And malaki po talaga yung naitulong. We are just providing them with what we require, what we need to be incorporated on our uniform, and they are very much willing to help.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, a follow-up question na. Noong ito'y sinusuot ng inyong mga tauhan at nababad sila sa init or nababad sila halimbawa malapit sa apoy, wala ho bang insidente na ito'y sumiklab? Ano ho yung mga nakita ninyo ng mga hindi maganda dun po sa tela na inyong or ipapasuot sa inyong mga militar?
So thank you po ma'am for that question. I failed to answer it kasi ito po talaga yung current status. We are still in the prototype phase. Nasa initial phase pa po kami. We have not yet conducted po yung field testing. Hindi pa po talaga yung partnership namin to develop yung BTU. Hindi pa po ito na work on the web, nagamit ng aming mga kasundaluhan dun sa field. So wala pa po kaming current na data or feedback kung ano po yung result nitong dinevelop namin na uniform or material.
Okay, last question.
And distinguished guests, maraming salamat sa inyong pagdalo at mabuhay po kayo, our valued champions of the Philippine textile industry. This textile Department of Science and Technology is grateful for your vision, your innovation, and efforts in making our industry more relevant and resilient. Here with us are representatives from the academe driving collaborative research, partners in social advocacy and innovation, leaders from textile and allied industries.
Yan, okay. Nakita nyo, no? Ang ganda ng kasuotan nila, di ba? Ang gaganda ng mga tela, talagang pwedeng, kahit saan pwede. Sabi nga ano man yung okasyon, talagang ang ganda-ganda pong isuot ng ating mga textile na gawa po ng ating sariling atin, ano, na pagbabalaki po talaga. Ayan po, sana po, makita na po natin yan sa ating mga government employee, sa ating armed forces of the Philippines na nakasuot sila niyan. Nakakatuwa po siguro na talagang makita natin itong ating mga tela na sariling gawa natin dito sa Pilipinas. At syempre, pagmamalaki rin po natin sa ibang bansa itong ating mga sariling tela. Hindi na po kailangan na imported. Mga Pilipino po ang gumawa niyan, naghabi niyan, mga sa ibang sa probinsya, yung mga ano din, yung mga person deprived of liberty, tinuruan na rin po sila yan. Okay, ayan po, sana po ay marami kayong natutunan sa ating naging coverage dyan po sa DOST PTRI. And of course, thank you po, congratulations po sa ating pong mga DOST officers and friends. Pansamantala na po tayo magpapaalam. Ayan po, huwag niyo pong kalimutan likes, follow, and share ang DWWD, Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino. Sa pansamantala po tayo magpapaalam. Ito po si Terry Alpa para po sa programang Buhay OFW ngayon, Bantay at Kasangga. Maraming salamat po. God bless. Thank you, God.